Coming to you from the great state of Wisconsin, this is a CS27 Studios production. You're listening to the Binary Brothers Podcast featuring Ryan and Clay. It's time now to open your ears and prepare your mind because life's too short to be constrained in black and white. So without further ado, here are your hosts, Ryan and Clay.
Hello, welcome to Binary Brothers Podcast. I am Clay, and with me, as always, is Ryan.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Ryan.
Yes, you are.
I love being here.
I am really excited about this show. I'm not going to lie.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm super excited about this show.
Super excited?
See what I did there?
There's got to be some reason why you emphasize super there.
Maybe. We're going to be talking about the Superb Owl, the Super Bowl.
The Superb Owl.
But even if you're not interested in sports or football, I think you should still listen in because the Super Bowl is not just about the game of football that it kind of focuses on. It's such a huge event. It has so many other things around it, a part of it. There's a reason why millions and millions and maybe even billions of people from around the globe tune in.
Yeah, it's a huge event, and I mean, people call it the big game. I mean, partially for like copyright reasons or whatever, but it is. It's one of the biggest sporting events,
in the world.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Huge, tremendous event.
Absolutely. So I can only imagine that we're just gonna go on a crap ton of tangents in this episode.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, there's, like you said, Super Bowl isn't just about sports. So, I mean, we're gonna get into some other stuff. I can foresee it already.
Yeah. So let's just dig in and get rid of these intro segments that we always do to get you listeners into the mind of us talkers, us hosts.
Always talking.
Yeah, I want to know, Ryan, what kind of music, what kind of songs, what kind of albums, what's kind of grooving in your head?
Yeah, so for the last week or so, I've been, listening to my typical stations and whatnot, and a song that's really been catching my ear has been Passion by AWOL Nation. So, I don't know.
Do they just say Passion like sail all the time?
No, they do not just say Passion like sail. But it's a little like kind of smooth, kind of a pretty smooth song. I mean, about them. They're an alt-rock band.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like a nice, kind of easy, but still upbeat kind of song to listen to. And it's all about having passion for things, what you're doing, whatnot. So, I don't know. It's just a catchy tune. It's good background music. It's a solid song to listen to, like if you're looking to listen to the actual lyrics and whatnot. Yeah, I just have been digging it recently.
Cool.
And I know you mentioned Sail, because that if anyone doesn't really know AWOL Nation, like that's a song that they did that everyone knows. Sail.
Honestly, that's like the only song I really know of them. I mean,
yeah,
I've heard other songs, but in terms of like pointing one out, I couldn't name any other songs.
Yeah.
If I heard them, if they came on, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, that's AWOL Nation. But I have no idea what the name of the song is. Sail, though, I know that one.
They're not really, they had that big thing. And
it basically went viral.
Yeah. I mean, everyone used it, and it's like perfect. It's one of those things that, like you said, viral, that you could like patch into, a video, something that out of context would just be hilarious.
They went viral like that kid at the halftime of the Super Bowl. That selfie kid.
With him taking the picture, and then everyone just said he was Googling. Who Justin Timberlake was.
The new meme.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I heard he created like an Instagram account, and he just got like 40,000 followers just instantly, basically.
No way.
Like, it made me feel pretty like bad. Not really, because I don't judge my life on that, but it's still kind of like, really? Like, what do you expect from that kid to post on Instagram from now on?
like
Are you expecting more of those Super Bowl selfie videos? Is it going to be going to every single Super Bowl from now on, getting selfies with every single halftime performer?
It's not happening.
That's his life from now on.
Like, we'll always remember Left Shark from last year.
Yes, that too, yeah.
But, like...
Was that last year?
Anyone who followed... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last year.
Well, it was Katy Perry, but I don't think that was last
Katy Perry
year.
and
Who
Left
was
Shark. Are you sure?
last year?
I don't know.
Who was the performer last year?
Left Shark.
Type it up.
Googling it.
Google knows. Alexa. Cortana. Anyone. Answer me.
Oh, man.
Katy Perry was not last year.
I got it, guys.
Who was last year? We could always cut this out. We won't, though, but we could always do it.
Well, why would we?
Because I don't want to hide things from our listeners.
People are here for our genuine XIV9. Gosh.
Yeah, that's...
Wow, we're off.
You're like 4 years late.
Wow. Where does the time go?
I knew it wasn't last year.
Because 2015 is what it was. It was 3 years ago. Oh, man.
Who was last year's performer?
I don't even know.
I thought that's what you were looking up.
No, I was looking up what year Katy Perry and Left Shark was. Everyone, I have a super clicky keyboard, if you can't tell.
Good old mechanical keyboard.
With some nice cherry blues, clickety-clack.
You need to put like a dampener on it or a silencer.
So here's the thing about like keyboards is they're like watches for some people where you want to get like a few of them or whatever just because there's different switches. So why not get a keyboard with different kind of switch? Or like different lighting and junk. How many keyboards am I going to use at one time, though? But for the podcast, perfect excuse to say, I got to get a quieter keyboard for podcast.
That's true, yeah.
Lady Gaga last year.
Lady Gaga.
And remember
Why don't I remember that?
She did the drone thing.
Oh,
she did,
yeah.
like, lights with all those drones.
Yeah, okay, now I remember. I don't think I really actually watched it, though.
I typically don't watch halftime shows.
I didn't really watch the halftime show this year either.
Well, you didn't really miss much. Sorry for anyone who thinks otherwise, but it was not great.
I mean, once I heard that there wasn't any wardrobe malfunction, I completely lost interest.
Exactly. You need more nipples.
If Justin Timberlake is hosting the halftime of the Super Bowl, I better be rewarded for it.
And that's without a doubt. I mean,
although with that said, Justin Timberlake is a insanely talented dude.
I know. And so, like, to kind of bring it back around to music, like AWOL Nation just came out with a new album like last week.
They will not be hosting a Super Bowl anytime.
No,
ever,
never.
I was gonna say soon, but I had to audible. I had to audible to ever.
But yeah, they came out with a new album, and I was like, oh yeah, AWOL Nation. They were a band, and so I started listening to their album, and it's it's not like my favorite thing ever, but it wasn't bad. So they're they're doing all right.
They're making a living.
Right? Passion solid, and Justin Timberlake also new album.
I saw that.
I listened to most of that. So, and I have good thoughts. He is a very talented person.
I have not listened to it, although it looks like he's become a mountain man dude.
Yeah, mountain man dude. So the story behind that is that his album's called Man of the Woods, and it's because his son's name means Man of the Woods.
I mean, his last name is Timberlake, so
like it's all about nature.
Yeah. Actually, is that even his real last name?
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, or is that just kind of the name?
Like a stage name?
Yeah, stage name, or the name he adopted when he...
Like, isn't Katy Perry's real name not...
I have no idea. I don't really keep up on these things.
Well, she used to be like a Christian artist before.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
No.
She started out as like a Christian artist, and she was like actually featured on someone's song that you might know. Look it up later.
I'll look it up later.
But yeah, she started out as a Christian artist, and she performed, I believe, under a different name. Yes, Justin Randall Timberlake. That's his.
Oh, how about that?
Real life name.
Good on you, Justin.
So what about you, man? What music have you been into recently? What's been tickling your fancy?
I just got on a little bit of a Sode kick.
Oh, dude.
System of a Down.
Fantastic.
I'm not like a huge fan of them, but there's a couple songs I like. I ended up making a playlist in Spotify so that I could just listen to all the songs I enjoyed from them instead of kind of, waddling through some songs that I'm like, I could do without. Ended up being 12 songs, 40 minutes, so that's how much of a System of a Down fan I am. It's not a lot, but I mean, I got on a kick.
It's enough.
Yeah, it's enough.
I've got a few System of a Down tracks on my workout playlist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have some good workout tunes. If you want to be angry at the establishment.
So Spotify playlists, I feel like I heard something recently about you can't rearrange them or something happened. I have no idea. Is that a thing? There's something weird with Spotify and playlists.
You might not be able to rearrange them on like the mobile app or something. I think that's probably what you saw or heard. Because you can rearrange them on the desktop app just fine.
Oh, well.
Like, I've had no issues with playlists on Spotify.
Well, that's good. Because you should be able to make a list of music the way you want it.
And
Otherwise,
I tend
what's
to.
the point?
I tend to.
It's got to have a good flow.
Yeah. Although I usually just put it on shuffle, so it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't make a difference anyways.
No, not really.
You're not...
I don't really actually control the order.
Compose an album or anything. You're just...
Especially when I have playlists that are hundreds of songs. I'm like, I'm not going to order this.
Here's the deal. I don't have time for this.
No.
Does this really belong in slot 75 as opposed to 52?
This is more of a 112 song.
Not happening.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So what, you looking forward to anything? You a little bit stoked about anything that's coming up?
I'm kind of excited for the Olympics here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's just starting. I tend to enjoy the Winter Olympics a little bit more than the Summer Olympics just because Winter Olympics feature events that aren't, like, natural to humans. They're not, like, running and jumping. It's,
yeah, that's true.
Let's strap knives to the bottom of our boots and see what happens. Like, it's just ridiculous things. So, like, I'm excited about those types of things.
That's true. I guess I never really thought about the Olympics in general, winter versus summer being, natural human things that you do, at least more natural.
Right.
And stuff you just typically don't do.
Yeah.
Curling.
Yeah, curling is so awesome.
I love curling. For our listeners, I think you should go out and try curling. I was part of a curling club for a while in Racine, and that was a fantastic time. It's a fun sport. It's like super easy to get into, and everyone's typically super nice. It's one of those like kind of like a bowling league where you can like.
You haven't been in the same bowling leagues I've been in.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I haven't been in a bowling league.
But yeah, it's just like get together and do a thing like that. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, you haven't been in the bowling league that the Big Lebowski has been in.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a whole other level.
Yeah,
you
don't mess with the Jesus.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie, but I need
to watch it again.
That's refresh your memory. You keep coming back to.
Yeah. What about you? Are you excited for some Olympics, or is there something else?
I don't really have much of anything in particular going on. I mean, like I kind of talked about last episode, I got the tryout next weekend.
Oh yeah.
So I'm still looking forward to that. Then we're getting closer, so I'm getting a little bit more excited for it. But other than that, I don't have anything like planned or on the horizon really. But actually, something cool that happened recently that I'm a little bit excited about.
Okay.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, they're making another.
It was originally for PS2, and
Yeah.
it's an adventure game where you go around and defeat these colossi, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Colossuses. But yeah, so you go around and do that, and they remade it, they remastered it, they redid it all for PS4.
Is it like a 10-year anniversary edition or something?
I don't actually know.
Or is it a
originally came
completely
out.
new game?
It's the same game.
It's the same game, so just remastered.
Yeah, just
basically.
entirely like remastered. Right?
So it could be like an anniversary edition or something.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that because for Christmas, actually, one of my friends got me a pre-order for it because he was super into the game and I really loved it.
And he
too,
needed a
when
friend to
it came
play
out.
with.
And he's like, let's just excited.
Let's jam.
So yeah, it came out Tuesday, and we're planning on getting together at some point, hopefully in this next week or so, and just destroying some
Just
colossi.
destroying colossi.
So yeah, I guess
Nice.
that's something that I don't have like officially tacked down, but
Right.
it's on the horizon that I'm excited about.
I can see that. It's always fun to reunite with some gaming buddies and play some games, some video games. Yeah, I miss that from like the Halo 3 days. That was fun.
Oh, what was that game we used to play?
Halo 3.
Well,
I don't know.
well, yes. No, it
What
was
were you thinking about?
It was like a custom. We did a custom game.
Halo
We had
3.
a sniper rifle.
Yeah, it was Halo 3.
That's
I'm
it,
not-
guys. That's
I'm
That's it for
serious.
the podcast.
I'm
out.
serious.
I'm out of here. No, it was Halo 3, but it was
Yeah.
we had a specific game
Oh,
we played
Instagib.
in it. Instagib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, where there's no gravity.
300% like speed.
Yeah,
Right?
the fastest you set all the sliders in the game type. You set the players to move the fastest they can. It's only sniper rifles, and yeah, no gravity and
Like one hit kill.
One hit kill, yeah. Like no, I think it was no shields, so
Yeah.
that would make it one hit kill with the sniper rifle, and just insane. People are just running around. It's like a blur of
Well, it was
people
like-
just running
like
around.
Melee
flying
attacks
around.
would kill you too.
Oh yeah. Anything because of no shield, especially because you're traveling at such a high speed.
You're
A melee
just
attack, a melee attack is gonna just absolutely destroy you.
It's just you'd be on one end of the map and just like move a tiny bit and then jump and you're flying.
Yeah, you're flying,
in
which
the air.
was not a good strategy because when you're in the air, you can't control yourself. You can't like
You got
change
nothing.
directions or anything. So
And every once in a while you'd cross paths with someone while you're in the air and just destroy them with a melee attack.
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Good
We had a
times.
lot of fun nights in college playing that and drinking beer.
Well, of course.
Naturally. Oh yeah, if we got a group together to do that again, that'd be fun times.
I'd be down.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can make that happen. But
I would definitely do it, man. I'm excited.
and I wouldn't blame you.
I don't have an Xbox. Like that would be the one one of the excuses that I would like get an
Well,
Xbox.
I still have the 360.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we played it on, and so we played it as local multiplayer. It wasn't. We didn't do like Xbox
Over the internet,
Live. Yeah. So we only need one Xbox.
Ooh. And you've got one. So
I do. I also have. I have the Xbox One as well, and I have Halo 5. I haven't tried like an Instagib type of game type on that. I don't even know if it would work the same. I
it work out?
I don't know if it would because it's. The new Halos aren't made by Bungie anymore, so
Yeah.
they play a little bit differently.
yeah, I haven't played a Halo since Halo 3. I don't think
that's probably a good thing, honestly.
there was the one after. I remember you got.
Yeah. I
I
had
don't remember
Reach.
what it was.
Reach.
Halo Reach, yeah.
Yeah. That was the last one that Bungie made.
Oh man, it's like EA not making NCAA anymore.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's still Halo games being made. It's just being made by Microsoft.
Well, yeah.
NCAA games went away because of
Just
the lawsuit
gone.
and everything. And the player likenesses and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they were extremely exactly alike. I mean, I get it. You can't, you quote, can't pay D1 athletes.
Well, they can. And they do.
Well, they do.
They do.
Well, yeah. I mean, pay for the tuition, pay for stuff. You get your old lineman mopeds.
Yeah.
So they don't
They
have
pay
to
stuff under the table.
drive around campus.
For sure. Yeah. That whole thing. I mean, that's a topic for another episode. That is a completely whole nother episode we could talk about.
It's a different sports topic.
Yeah. So let's talk about the actual sports topic we're talking about in this episode.
The Super Bowl.
The super event, the super sport topic.
It's the Super Bowl. It's the
bowl.
It's the thing that happens every year. It's the big deal.
It is a big deal. There's so much money that goes into the event from advertisers and everything. What was it?
Oh.
Did you see that NBC had like 15 or so seconds of like dead air during it?
No way.
Yeah. Where the screen was just black. No commercial played. And yeah. So just think of how much money they just lost out on that. You're planning a Super Bowl. You're planning this NBC. So like all the different broadcasting companies who have rights with the NFL kind of rotate every year on which one hosts the Super Bowl. This year it was NBC's turn. So they're planning this like 3 years in advance, basically.
Right.
And they have a dead 15 seconds of air where they're not earning any sort of advertising money. And it's like $5 million for 30 seconds of air or something like that?
I was just looking that up. So yeah, that's $5 million per 30 seconds.
Yeah. So they lost basically $2.5 million.
That's
now, in the grand scheme of things, that's not all that much, but still $2.5 million.
It's nothing.
It's going to come out of somebody's budget.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy about that. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess, do you want to talk a little bit about commercials?
We can. We can talk about anything. This is our show, Ryan.
Oh, I keep
You're
forgetting.
as much a part of this as I am.
We just do what we want.
Exactly. That's what makes this show great.
There's no rules.
No rules. Except keep your shirt on.
Well,
there's one rule.
I guess. But yeah, I don't know, commercials. What did you think? Did you have a favorite?
Did I have a favorite commercial? Yeah, I think my favorite one, the one that I remember most, like when I was sitting there and I like laughed the most, I thought it was the one where, what's his name? The small dude from Game
Peter
of Thrones.
Dinklage.
Yeah, God, why do I keep forgetting his name? Peter Dinklage is just rapping to whatever music it was.
Busta Rhymes.
Man, he was doing he just looked natural.
It was amazing. That's by far my favorite.
Yeah. And then they followed that up with Morgan Freeman doing basically the same thing.
It was the best. I mean, I saw the commercial come on, and he's just standing by fire or whatever, and then it just starts going, and everything starts lighting on fire, and it's just amazing. He's killing it. Busta Rhymes in the picture frame.
Yep.
Going off.
I was laughing so hard at that.
I was like, this commercial is amazing, and then it ended, and right away, Morgan Freeman's up. With the exact opposite, with ice everywhere. Missy Elliott.
Yep.
Fantastic. So yeah, the Doritos, it was for Doritos and Mountain Dew. I mean, they're both owned by PepsiCo. So
right, yeah.
They just paid $10 million. Or back-to-back commercials.
Back-to-back commercials and tied them together. And for me, that won it. That was it.
Yeah, man, they killed it. I really liked, like, I guess a close follow-up for a solid one would be the guy from Stranger Things.
Oh, the Tide ads?
Yeah, the Tide ads. I don't know why. I loved it.
I liked the first one because it caught me off guard.
For sure.
But then it seemed like they paid for like half the ads in the Super Bowl.
They just threw a bunch of random ones in there.
And,
yeah.
And like I was fine with one of them, and then they just like kept coming and coming. I was like, can I see something new?
Yeah, like I like the theme overall, and
yeah.
I really like the first one they did, like you said. But you're right, like it surprised me, number one, that there were multiples, that they were sprinkling them in there, and it does kind of wear away from it. You know, the joke gets old. It's
right.
It was nice to have it in that first one, but I think, yeah, even with that, I still think solid.
Yeah, I think the idea was there and it was executed well. I think they just kind of overdid it a little bit.
Yeah,
like it would have been nice to see the other versions of it maybe coming out, throughout the next year or so or whatever, or just kind of at other big kind of events, hugely televised events. I mean, we got the World Cup coming up this year. We have the Olympics coming up. There's some prime time, spots to show those ads there. And
yeah,
you won't be overdoing it. So I think that's really the only beef I had with it. But otherwise, the theme was pretty cool. And yeah, the guy from Stranger Things did a pretty good job with it. That was my take, at least.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about like what other commercials there were.
I'm pretty sure the rest of them were Tide ads.
Does that make every ad a Tide ad?
Pretty sure.
Oh man, what was it? Eli.
Oh, the Eli dancing or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious just because it went on for so long.
It did. That's another one.
I kept expecting it to be done, right? Like he'd be done after some move,
right?
And then for them to just go that far and to get the lineman in dancing behind him, and the tunnel, him picking up OBJ.
Right. How long is 30 seconds? Yeah, that was it was all right. Like it was a fun premise, but I don't know. I think like with the Tide ad, it just kind of carried on a little too long.
It wore out.
Yeah, it wore out for me. But this is just my opinion,
We're all just people. We've got opinions.
Yep.
It's all right. You know what else was kind of a big kind of advertising thing that happened, but not a commercial really? Mercedes. Did you hear about the competition that they had?
I don't think so.
So Mercedes, for the Super Bowl, you could get this app and you log in, sign up or whatever, and on it shows up this car. So this super nice Mercedes car, expensive. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a brand new model that they're doing or version of it or something.
I only like beater Mercedes.
Just wrecked, gross old Mercedes.
When I think Mercedes, that's what I think about.
Not luxury.
No.
Just
the A to B type cars,
Get me there. You're driving a
discount cards.
No, it's just a car, sir. It's not. But yeah, so they had this competition where you get the app, you log in, and the car shows up on the screen when the Super Bowl starts, and you have to keep your finger on the car. And I guess it moves around and stuff because the instant I heard about this, I'm like, why don't I just run an emulator with the app on it or something and just say, press in this spot. But apparently it moved around and whatnot. And the last person who had their finger on the car won the car.
Huh. I did not hear about this.
Yeah, my boss told me about it. It was a whole thing. Thought about it, but then I realistically thought to myself, it's just not gonna happen.
There's somebody that's gonna keep their finger on this thing for the entire game.
Yeah,
and I don't care that much about
having a new Mercedes
Mercedes.
Like I could take most of the time you can do like take the cash value.
Yeah,
thing.
That's true.
But also, even then,
you got to pay taxes. It's just not worth getting that much money.
It's just someone else is going to be more
so much
determined
work
to get it. Right?
Exactly.
Like I just don't. I don't know. Like I don't go out of my way to buy lottery tickets because
I'll buy them every now and again, just for kicks.
Yeah. Office pools. We used to have an office pool.
Yeah, office pools.
Tickets.
Maybe some. Yeah, especially if it gets super high.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do that, but yeah. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. But yeah. Oh man, the talking about like the actual game though, and talking about NBC. Chris Collinsworth.
Gross.
The announcing was just awful.
It was so bad. Is the thing. Weiss hates Chris Collinsworth too.
I can see him getting mad at Chris Collinsworth.
He just can't stand him. But it's like I can't either. He just doesn't say things that
make sense.
That make sense.
Or are accurate.
He at some point he was all like these NFL receivers are more like NBA players and the NBA players are like receivers or something. It's like, what are you even talking about right now?
Yeah.
Like that just because a receiver is like skinny or tall does not make him an NBA player, and just because he jumped to get the ball, like that makes you a receiver more than anything else.
Yeah, it just
He's just rough, man.
It was so, like if there's anybody that has power at NBC listening to this podcast right now, hire me. I guarantee you I will do a better job than what he did.
Check out Clay's work.
Check me out, man.
Definitely do a better job than this guy. I mean, if the job is to get up there and say some sports words, and
I can do that.
A fair amount of nonsense.
I can do a lot of that.
He's got it covered.
Oh yeah, I'm your man. Put me in, coach.
No, you can't. You got to be in the booth.
Oh,
you can't be. The coach can't put you in. There's no coaching.
Not with that attitude.
Okay.
But with that said, NBC has the rights to the Olympics, so
Chris Collinsworth again.
Yeah. What if he just shows up?
He's just announcing curling.
See, the thing about these rocks is they hit each other. And there's brooms. Good thing they don't hit the brooms. Because that would be bad.
Would you...
Well, no, Did the broom catch the rock? Did it hit the ground?
Oh, that we're going to talk about that in a second.
That was such an obvious catch.
But also, like, how funny would it be? I would watch it a little bit. It would get old pretty quickly. But Chris Collinsworth doing commentary on other things, like, don't you think? Just because it would be funny to see how.
I don't think so.
Bad. Come on.
How bad? I don't want to listen to how bad he is at other things.
Like you just can't look away. You can't stop watching Chris Collinsworth.
No, that's the type of stuff
comments
that I just turn off
on the uneven bars.
If it's bad, I just turn it off. I'm like, I'm not wasting my time with that.
I would watch a couple videos of Chris Collinsworth commenting on other sports. If for no other reason to just reinforce
I couldn't
Not
do it.
great.
I couldn't do it.
So that catch, man, that was a catch.
It was so obvious a catch.
And who was the receiver? I don't
know, a tight end for the Eagles.
Some guy.
Some dude.
Right. So he goes out for this catch, and to me, it was just so obvious, and the fact that the commentators knew right away just that it was going to be in dispute was just nuts to me. Yeah. And I read like a Deadspin article about why it was a big deal and like other rulings about things like that. And it's like he caught the ball.
He literally caught the ball.
Complete control of it, and then turned upfield to run. Took a couple steps and like got kind of upended by that guy.
Yeah, he was not in the process of falling before he was a runner.
It was just ridiculous. And what bothered me, especially, is if you remember one of our last games, or our last game for the Packers this year.
That's tough to remember that far, that long ago.
It was forever ago.
It was at least like a month ago.
I think it was Geronimo. He like caught a ball and turned upfield. Like he caught the ball and
okay.
Literally like turned to upfield and took maybe one step. And
he was clearly a catch and fumble.
And when he got
Geronimo's was a catch and a fumble. That was as obvious as the one in the Super Bowl. Did I just blow your entire argument here?
A little bit,
because that was obvious to me.
Well, like no. You're right. You're right. We are on the same page.
Oh,
for some reason, I got confused for a second and thought to myself, "Damn, Clay just ruined my whole argument." Because now I'm going to sound like the idiot. But no, seriously, because that to them was like ruled and super clearly. He caught it, had control, became a runner, fumbled the ball, ended our possession, and I believe the season. And it's just like, how to me, he caught the ball and made even more athletic moves.
Yeah,
right. Than Geronimo did. So I don't even know why it took more than 2 seconds to figure out, did he score?
I don't know. And the worst part, I think, for me about it is because they were so, indecisive, I guess, about it, that they made it difficult for the people watching who maybe don't know the rules all that well.
Yeah.
And honestly, in my opinion, I like the catch rule. I think it is perfectly fine the way it is. Because I have yet to see a way or an instance for it to be rewritten that makes it less subjective.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty simple. If you catch the ball and are in the process of falling while catching it, you have to maintain control of it through the ground. That's pretty simple. People get caught up on what determines falling to the ground while in the process of a catch.
Right. And I mean, like, I see a lot of things where when I look at it, it's like, hey, the person has control of it, and I understand if they were to be like trying to transition the ball into into a more like runner position or anything. But I mean, if you have possession, you have possession. It's
for me, and maybe it's just me, but a lot of the cases that I see happening around the NFL or the league, when I look at the replay, it seems fairly obvious what the call is gonna be or should be. I've had maybe one, maybe two instances where I was like, I have no idea. But it's so rare. Out of all the times that this has kind of been reviewed, soul catch thing, to have it that few, at least in my eyes, be like it could go either way and it's not like definitive, that's pretty darn good writing of the rule.
Right. It's a good indication of it makes sense and kind of fits, right?
How many other rules in the NFL or in football are subjective? What is holding?
Oh man,
What is defensive pass interference?
here's the deal.
All of them are subjective.
I'll let you guys,
To an
I'll let
extent.
all of our listeners know right now. As an offensive lineman, you hold every play.
And as a defensive back, I can attest to that. You
You
guys
just-
hold every single play.
Yep, hold every play. Just don't get caught.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, it's the same
will-
playing. It's the same playing defensive back. You do the best you can to get away with stuff to make
Yeah,
it hard
I think-
for the
I think
receiver
that's
to.
everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna play like that.
If
and
you're
it's-
not cheating, you're not trying.
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, there's a fine line, right, between something that's an obvious hold and that's not a hold. And there's just so many times when a ref will call, that was a hold, and you're like, no way, even when you're not actually holding.
Yeah.
There's been times when I've been called for a hold, and that was a play where I actually wasn't holding. So I
literally
call,
did not hold.
I'm calling shenanigans, sir.
Evil shenanigans. Yeah, and then because of these announcers and media people all just claiming how ridiculous the rule is and questioning it, and it causes an uproar with fans, and it's just like, it's really not broken, guys, and we really should not be trying to fix something that's not broken here. And,
Well, yeah, I mean,
and then I've seen it because for those who don't know, I'm a pretty big hockey fan. And
are you?
I am.
You play
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah, and there's a game coming up at the end of our recording here that I don't want to be late to, Ryan.
I'm sorry. I had
It's all right.
some stuff.
It's all right. It's not really that important. But so yeah, I'm a hockey fan, and this year has been riddled with like nobody knows what goalie interference is because the refs have just done a piss poor job of calling it.
Okay.
It's just been so inconsistent the way they've called it. But the other night, or last night, I had some games on, and the announcer, there was a goalie interference like challenge, that was going on, and the announcers were like, "This is just like in the NFL, nobody knows what a catch is." I'm like, I know exactly what a catch is. Like it's just trickling over to like other sports. Just this outrage that should not be happening with the whole catch thing. I guess maybe it's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm insane. Am I insane, Ryan? You better tell me if I'm insane.
I honestly can't tell you if you're insane or not, because what if I'm insane and I tell you you're not insane, and then not both just nuts people
God.
together making a podcast?
That would explain a lot of things.
Would it put your mind at a little bit of ease?
By definition, I wouldn't know that I was sane.
But yeah. So the catch, it was the thing. Let's
get away from that.
Yeah, another play that was awesome. You know
Yeah.
what I'm going towards.
There was a lot of
Foles' touchdown.
Oh, you're talking about the trick play
trick
on
play.
fourth down?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Doug Peterson making the call.
Oh man,
What a great call.
That was awesome. I mean, I watched that play unfold, and I thought it was super weird that he was going out as far as he was going out. Because
there's like a tell to it. You can say something's not right here.
Yeah, like for a second, quarterbacks drop back, and then they'll come back up to the line and make some call or say something.
They don't go like all the way out to the tackle.
Well, you don't go out
right?
to the tight end
Or the
position.
tight end, yeah. Wait a
Every
second.
time I watch that play,
He
over
doesn't
and over,
need to talk to the tight end there.
like, wow, he went over to somewhere where, why is he on the outside of the tackle where there's not another receiver or a tight end or anything? And like sets his feet for a second.
Yeah.
So, but that was just an awesome play. It was.
That was
Just
gutsy.
I loved it.
Play to win the game. And
You
they
gotta
did.
go for it, man.
And they
I mean,
did.
They were the underdogs.
Are you
People.
Are you happy they won? Are you happy the Eagles won? Were you rooting for a specific team?
So I guess I wasn't really rooting for a specific team all that much. I wanted to see Philly win just because it's a change.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Sure.
the Patriots have been in what, 3 of the last 5 or something? Super Bowls?
Yeah.
They said it when they were talking about him maybe winning. Brady is who I'm talking about Brady maybe winning, is that, they'd been to so many Super Bowls recently, and he would have won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah, this was his third in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's super impressive and, like, fantastic.
Well, it would have matched. It would have if the Patriots would have won, it would have matched the start of Brady's career, though.
Oh, really?
Where Brady, when he came in, started against the Rams, and they got their first Super Bowl in their history. They ended up winning 3 out of those 4 Super Bowls from there on out. So. Huh. If they would have won in this one, it would have been basically the same thing, 3 out of 4.
Yeah,
but didn't happen.
That would have been. That would have been cool for them and the Patriots and sports stats in general. But again, like I wanted to see. I thought it would be cool to see the Eagles win, being the underdog, and just that they're gonna rage.
Speaking of raging, have
been raging.
Have you seen the video of what's his name?
Jason Kelce?
Jason Kelce. Have you seen it?
So I was just watching it before we started recording.
Oh my god, it was awesome.
And I only got like 2 minutes in, but go out, everyone, and find Jason Kelce's speech from the parade.
From the Eagles victory parade. It's hilarious.
Amazing. Like just to start, the way he's dressed.
Yeah.
Like how do you even describe that?
So somebody put a name to it. I don't know.
Mummers?
What is it? Yeah, something like that. Some Philly thing.
Parade. But like it's just his outfit is just hilarious.
Mummers outfit.
And his post-game interview was funny. Just because he was super passionate and he's all like, no one believed in us, and all this stuff. And it reminded me a bit of Bart Scott.
Oh, yeah.
He did his speech. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Worst defense in the league. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. Like, it reminded me of that, his post-game talk. And then this whole speech was just that on steroids.
Yeah.
And
just nuts.
Yeah, just fantastic. And I'm after this is done, I'm definitely watching.
Yeah, you need to finish that because the ending is pretty great too.
And isn't that like super? It's super cool to see. He's a center,
right?
And he's just all jacked up.
I mean, he's probably a little bit drunk too.
Well, you'll have that.
Maybe a lot of it, but
you just won the world championship of football.
You're world champion, and I know people are going to be like, "Why it's a world champion? It's only played in America."
I was just going to say that.
The best football players are in America. There are no other leagues around the world. That could compete.
That's the thing is,
it is a world championship. I'm sorry, but you got to understand that.
It is. So they call it the world championship, and it is a world championship. And yeah, you're right. People. Well, they don't play around the world. Well, let me tell you. If they did, it just wouldn't turn out well for other
They would
countries.
still be world champions.
So,
yeah.
And that's just the way it is. Like
it's American football.
The sport is right. The sport is more popular. It's played this way here, and we would just be better at it than other people. I'm sure we couldn't compete in Australian rules football.
Oh my god, no, we couldn't.
Because no one but Australians can.
Whatever team wins that championship, they're the world champions of Australian rules football.
Right.
It's that simple.
But yeah.
It's not like soccer or rugby or basketball or baseball or hockey or even, where there's multiple high quality professional leagues around the world.
Yeah,
American football, the NFL is it.
this is it.
That's it.
Yeah, so solid. I mean, solid game overall. Super offensive.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in the lack of defense.
I mean, what I think it set a record
Yeah,
for
it's like
the
over
most.
1,000 yards,
Yeah, 1,151
which is
is
insane.
what it was. It was just a nuts amount of yards.
Yeah. Thankfully, one of the biggest plays of the game was a strip sack, fumble, defensive play, so that was kind of cool. But other than that, the defense is, oh boy.
Yeah, and I remember before the game, a couple days before, someone interviewed Von Miller from the Broncos and was like, well, how do you stop Tom Brady? Or how do you stop the Patriots? And he says, sack Tom Brady. That's it.
Yeah.
Any more silly questions? Like,
pretty much.
I mean, that's it. You got to get to him. You got to do something because the guy is a weapon. You know, he's a very good quarterback.
If you don't pressure him, he will tear you apart.
And that's the thing. And he said in his post game interview, one of the said is he just kept repeating the phrase. They made one good play, a good play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's it speaks to what you said about the game wasn't all that, like, defensively wasn't all that impressive, right? There was one time, the first sack of the game was right there at the end, you know, and
it basically clinched the game.
There wasn't all that much pressure defensively, and shout out to the O-lines on both sides, I guess, you know, and
who were holding the entire time.
Guaranteed holding.
The refs let the boys play.
You get away with
there wasn't a lot of penalties called in the game.
Yeah,
it was kind of nice in that regard, but there were some instances where, like, come on, that's a penalty.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Did you think the field looked weird? I mean, I know it's not their home field, like, make changes to the actual field, but I'm looking at pictures now, and I remember watching the game. Just like the turf looked super odd, like especially the giant patch in the middle for the NFL instead of the Vikings logo.
Yeah,
it just looked like so out of place. And
yeah, it wasn't.
There's probably only so much you can do about that. I just didn't remember ever seeing another field where it was just like so obvious that stuff didn't belong there or wasn't normally there.
Yeah, I don't know why there was that big patch because the lines and everything that are on the field for the Minnesota Vikings field, their new stadium, because that stadium is used not only for football, it's also used for soccer events, it's also used for Minnesota Gophers baseball, so they're able to wash those paint lines off the turf.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I'm sure there's some reason, but it doesn't initially make sense to me that it was like that.
Yeah.
The field was kind of weird, but
yeah, I just don't remember ever being another time where it just looked, like I said, so out of place.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, I was quite happy that the Vikings weren't playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So
speaking of their own turf,
you can't. I just can't. I don't want someone else from our division.
You know, and it's not even that. I mean, it's partially that because I mean we are Packer fans. Spoiler alert.
If you guys didn't know, we're Packer fans.
We broadcast from Wisconsin here. Yeah, so we're Packer fans, but so obviously we don't really want to see our divisional opponents win Super Bowls. But for me, it wasn't even really too much about that. I just personally, there's something wrong with a team playing a Super Bowl in their own stadium. Because it's never happened before. And the NFL is pretty much the only league that it's the playoffs, the Super Bowl, it's one and done. Every other sport, baseball, basketball, hockey, they're series. So each team plays a couple home games.
Yeah.
The NFL, it's not. And the Super Bowl has always been, it's always decided well beforehand what stadium it's going to be at. And it's always been a neutral site between two teams. So there's just something inherently wrong about a team playing the Super Bowl in their own stadium. And that's what it was like. That's what it would have been for the Minnesota Vikings this year. So I was quite happy, besides the other reasons, to not, see them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I mean, being people, we've both played sports before, I'm sure you and I can both attest to the fact that playing at home definitely has a different feeling. You feel more comfortable. You're in like the same routine, basically, and it gives you somewhat of a mental advantage.
Yeah,
right?
you don't have to travel.
Yeah.
And I know these players are traveling in, first class planes, but still
travel.
It's still travel.
Like you could put me in the most comfortable plane, bus, train, Sherpa, anything.
Premium
right? Like,
Sherpas.
Premium
high class
Sherpas.
luxury Mercedes Sherpas.
Doesn't matter what it is. If I've got to go further than my home turf to play, it's always going to be different. Travel's travel, Yeah.
So that was the Super Bowl. That was the event. That was it.
Yeah, I mean it happened. They were, I don't know what else really. If there's anything that really stands out about, the rest of the game other than Brady's not catch, also that they tried.
The good old Butterfingers advertisement.
Classic.
Yeah, that was a good one. I think that's a good place to end our super episode here.
Yeah, it's good. We talked like you said. We went on tangents.
I knew it.
But
I knew it.
I think we encompassed a lot of what the Super Bowl is, what sport is, how it went. No matter how you wanted it to turn out, it was a solid game.
Yeah,
you could get something out of it.
It was fun. Hopefully we see our team in it next year, though.
That would be fantastic.
That'd be cool.
I still remember when they won.
And we don't ever have that issue with the Super Bowl being played in our home stadium because it's way too cold.
Yep.
So that's cool.
No one would ever do it. No one's doing it when there could potentially be Snowpocalypse 2018.
Yep.
Thanks
for listening, everyone. We are out of here.
See ya, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Binary Brothers Podcast. We can't wait for you to tune in next time. But until then, make sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, and BinaryBrothersPodcast.com.